Good morning. Buenos dias, damas y caballeros. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here. It is something to smile about Saturday. And for those of you new cool kids that are coming and hang out in the Fun Life community, hey guys, welcome. Today is the day where we just kind of chill back and read you a good story. So if you've ever wanted to hear a good story, guys, I've got a great story for you. And as the caption says, what do you do when life gives you lemons? So what are you gonna do when life gives you lemons? Because if you've been following me long enough for any length of time, you know that life is gonna give you lemons every now and then. And so today, that's why we call it something to smile about Saturday, because it literally came out of the book. And whenever I was looking to add Saturday back in the, I can't remember how long now we've added Saturday. We stopped losing count after the 20th or 25th Saturday that we started adding. So thank you guys for joining me. Appreciate you being on here live. Mr. Thompson, thank you for being on here with us, guys. Thank you for showing up, because today this is you have happened to have landed on the Childlike Faith podcast, and you guys are watching it live. We're gonna stream it over here, and then you guys get the recording at the end. So guys, hey, listen, we've got on a couple different platforms. You guys just happen to see it in real time. So thank you guys for joining us. Appreciate you being on here. And really, the story comes right out of the book. And the Childlike Faith podcast is actually powered by this guy right here, legendary speaker and trainer motivator, Mr. Zig Ziglar, and his proud son, Tom Ziglar, the author of the foundational program Choose to Win that we start all the cool kids on, all of them. They go through the fun life. They go through the book Choose to Win, and what we're doing here in something to smile about Saturday is we are now, I don't know, several stories in, and we don't read them all the time. But this one was perfect. This one was right on cue. And so the Childlike Faith podcast is the podcast for the Christian entrepreneur who wants to grow and scale their business to be able to achieve the financial freedom they're looking for, boys and girls, without sacrificing their time, their joy, their family, or their faith, guys. And so today you're going to learn something about entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship is alive and well, as the caption says. But today we're going to show you what to do when life gives you lemons. So the whole thing says this: when we're talking about entrepreneurship, what does entrepreneurship mean to you? What is being an entrepreneur? Starting a business. You're going to have to find out. You're going to have to find out what it means to you, because if you want to do it, you're going to find a way, guys. If not, you'll make an excuse. But you cannot do both. You can't. And so when life gives you lemons, some people make lemonades. But in Colorado, we're going to find out what this one bold farmer did. He made cornbread, he made corn chowder, and he made a multiple six-figure business. And so this episode is for the dreamer, the one who plants seeds in the soil of setbacks and expects a harvest of hope. So y'all ready? You ready to join me? Appreciate you. Bubba, good morning. Hey, Chema, buenos dias, guys. Hey, thank you for being on here. Check out this story, guys. Check out this story. Now, I'm a slow reader, so you're going to kind of have to bear with me. You ready? It says, sometimes a big loss can be the catalyst for an even bigger gain. In the early 1980s, a farmer in Delta in Montrose County, Colorado, lost a big barley growing contract, which put their future in question. The farming industry had suffered numerous reverses. Inflation, high interest rates, and other factors had substantially reduced the number of farms. The situation was serious, so the governor sent his economic team to preach value-added agriculture. John Harold, a local farmer and well-known figure, decided to make a gamble bet on Olith, sweet corn. Olith, sweet corn? What? It's truly a case of taking the proverbial lemon and making lemonade. That's where you get my title. That's where this thing came from. And that back in 1985, they shipped 12,568 boxes of corn. Now they ship, and this was back when the book was written a while back, now they ship over 500,000 cases a year. And so how did that happen? How did that happen? Here's how it happened. Ola sweet corn had long been a favorite in the western slope area of the country. But by improving the storage and shipping process and assuring fresh delivery, Harold made it a favorite from Atlanta to Los Angeles. That's cross country, baby. I'm telling you. So Harold's role is primarily that of a coordinator, as he works with 25 growers, including himself, and they timed the harvest. They basically went down and check this out. They time the harvest so that it occurs over an 8-week period. The corn is harvested and boxed in the field, 48 ears of corn per container. Then it's brought to Harold's 20,000 square foot cooler by truck, and a forklift removes the boxes, and a machine called the clamshell injects a slush ice mixture into each box to make certain the corn is packed cold. Check this out, 75%. You ready? 75% of the corn is on trucks headed out the day it's picked, and no corn sits in his cooler longer than 3 days. Talk about expedited service, right? And so by adding value to the product, the Delta and Montrose counties farmers have opened up a huge new market, a market facilitated largely by John Harrell's willingness to take a risk, okay? And check this out. Man, I lost my spot. Oh, and try something new. If you have an entrepreneurial spirit, here's where you come in. You ready, boys and girls? If you have an entrepreneurial spirit and are willing to take some risks, you can turn lemons into a lemonade. I love this quote that it says over here. Every problem carries within itself the seed of an equivalent or greater benefit. Guys, man. So what can we learn from that? If you're in entrepreneurship or you're thinking about starting a business, here's what you can walk away with this. You ready? The mindset is very simple. Sometimes the setback is nothing more than a setup for your business, for an opportunity. So in the early 80s, Delta and Montrose counties, that's when they got hit with their crisis, right? Their big barley contract fell through. They got the boot. And so no one knew what the future held. But this guy right here, John Harold, guess what he did? He did exactly that. He turned that proverbial lemon into lemonade, a farmer with childlike faith that we talk about right here in the Childlike Faith podcast. And he had that courageous vision, right? To step out from the comfort zone, to not fall into the narrative of what other people think, say, or want them to do. Guys, he made a choice. And that's what I'm trying to tell you guys every single day. Make the choice. Oh, I had an incredible conversation yesterday with several people from across the country and helping them to launch their coaching business and helping them to take that step of faith and helping them to call the new client and really kind of gamifying what it is that they do, guys. And I'm telling you, it's so important for you guys to do that because, again, that's where the saying for John Harold, sweet corn, came around. Not because it's actually sweet. I think it may be a little sweet now because of all the stuff that they put in it. But back then it was because of the business. And so where other people saw famine, this guy right here saw favor. He saw opportunity. And so that's what you're going to have to do, because in 1985, they were only shipping 12,000 boxes. And they ended up growing to the point they were shipping over 500,000 cases from Atlanta to Los Angeles, simply because John Harrell knew how to add value. And if you're going to own a business, you're going to have to identify what is the problem that you solve. And you're going to have to go in there and add value to these people's lives. And what you do, you really want to go in there and add value. You want to provide more in value than you take in payment. It just is. And so John Harold added value when most people were subtracting hope. I'm telling you, this guy was incredible. And so that story should just be an analogy for what's possible in your business. Mr. Ziglar said it perfectly. You guys know that this whole thing is powered by this guy right here, right? Legendary speaker and trainer motivator, Mr. Zig Ziglar. And he said, you, watching live right now, this very moment, or if you watch it on the replay, you guys can catch this, or on the podcast, or on the YouTube channel, or, maybe you're on LinkedIn this morning, or maybe you're on Instagram, whatever. But when you're watching this, Mr. Ziglar said it perfectly. You can have everything in life you want if, you ready? I'll turn my hat backwards for this one. If you'll help enough other people get what it is that they want. What do you want, baby? What do you want out of this life? I'm telling you, if you'll answer that question, and then you're going to have to ask the question, why do you want it? And then you're going to have to go back and ask the other question, what does the people that you're going to serve want? How are you going to help them get it? And then all of a sudden, you're going to have to identify, how to put all this together. But if you will take that first step, if you will move out of we walk by faith, not by sight, right? This is the Childlike Faith podcast. So when you step out in faith, not knowing what that second step looks like, you have to understand and know that God will reveal that second step for you. So why are you scared? Why are you afraid, right? If God is for you, who can be against you? No weapon formed against you shall prosper, right? Not even the gates of hell shall prevail against you. I mean, you got way too much scripture, guys. You got way too much going for you to be afraid of, or to have that negative thinking, right? That stinking thinking of, hey, what if this doesn't work out? What if it does? Right? Oh my goodness. All right, let's continue on. Because that's exactly what this guy did. He created jobs, he opened new markets, and all of a sudden he was able to bring a freshness to the American tables, right? Here's the methodology. Here's where I think a lot of people get stuck. And here's where the magic happened. He partnered with other people. He staggered the harvest out over 8 weeks. That's a process. And if you understand the process, it's like, yeah, absolutely, Bubba. That's right. He knew what lied ahead. I'm telling you guys, he knew, he saw. That's where the word visionary comes from, right? And so all of a sudden, you're gonna have to. What is that for you, right? You got to Habakkuk 2:2, right? Write the vision, make it plain, that you're going to be able to achieve it, or something like that. But all of a sudden, what can you take away from this? What can you get from this to implement in your lives? Very simple, right? He didn't allow that to set him back. He used that as an opportunity, right? And so find your field. What's your field? Maybe it's not corn, but looking for the right crop and then deliver it with excellence, just like he did, right? The Bible says in Zechariah 4:10, it says, do not despise these small beginnings, for the Lord rejoices to see the work begin. And that's the problem with a lot of entrepreneurship. It's the start that stops most people. It's the start that stops most entrepreneurs. It's just an idea, and they don't sit down and, right, we're doing, oh man, where's my book? Oh, I got it over there. The book, Born to Win. You got to plan to win, prepare to win, and then expect to win. And if you'll do it in that order, guys, all of a sudden, you're going to realize that, hey, it wasn't so bad. So you may only start with something small like 12 boxes, but God can multiply it when you show up faithfully. I'm telling you, we've gotten viewers, we've gotten business. We just got a new client from Florida because we show up here every single day. I know some people say the hashtags don't matter, or how you put every word, everything that we put up in the title, everything. It's so that other people can find us. And if you'll just put your signal out there, put your frequency out there, you're going to be able to. People are going to be able to find you. All right, let's wrap this thing up. Right, Pedro's fun fact. You ready? Pedro, welcome to the show, baby. A ver, Pedro, ¿qué nos dices esta mañana, Pedro? Pedro says, did you know that sweet corn was once considered a luxury vegetable only grown for royalty? Do y'all realize that? Now it's a household, right? My wife makes the most amazing cornbread. it's almost like a dessert, but maybe it's too sweet. But here's the thing: all because a few farmers refused to quit and found a way to make it a little bit extra sweet. Simply that. And so, got a big loss? Something that happened, something that shook you to your core? Look for the opportunity. Got an idea that won't go away, that the Lord just kind of keeps? Take action. Got faith the size of a mustard seed? That's all you need, baby, right? So every person is given the measure of faith. And sometimes all you need is just a little bit. Because then you can say to this mountain, hey, be thou removed and be cast into the sea. You have to understand and realize that scripture, because once you go and do the study, the tallest mountain, the biggest mountain, you name the mountain, I don't care what it is, Mount Kilimanjaro, Mount Fiji, Mount Everest, you can throw it into the ocean and the ocean will swallow it up by how deep it is. So when you talk about that, guy, let your faith be so loud. Let your faith be louder than your fear, right? Fear is going to scream, but faith is going to be so much louder when it shows up, right? One with God is the majority. And so what can every Christian entrepreneur take away from this episode? I mean, what is it that you can take away? I just simply want you to know that just like John Harold, he didn't just grow corn. He grew vision in the valley. He understood that he's going to have to do something in order to have something you've never had. Baby, you're going to have to do something you've never done. And are you willing to do that? Are you willing to step out in faith? Are you willing to look foolish? Are you willing to, right? It was Steve Jobs that said those people that think they can change the world, that are crazy enough to think they can change the world, actually do it, right? Don't sit there and interrupt the person don't sit there and say that it can't be done. Don't interrupt the people that say that it can't be done should not interrupt the people out there doing it, right? Somebody asked me a while back if this going once a day, with the exception of Sunday, was sustainable. I don't know. You tell me. Is my energy dwindling a little bit? I know it's early. I haven't had my water. I haven't had my energy drink. I don't drink coffee. Actually, I don't drink energy drinks either. But here's the thing. When you get up and you show up every single day, God honors that. Maybe it's not a podcast. Maybe it's just making a post. Maybe it's just encouraging somebody. Maybe it's just sending an email, shooting a text, whatever that might be for you. But here's the thing. He turned a regional rejection into a nationwide revolution. And chances are you've probably eaten some of that corn. So he added value where others simply added excuses. And I told you at the beginning of the show, you cannot do both. And so what is the next step for you, right? I just simply say, steward the season, trust the harvest, and know that whatever kingdom business, whatever kingdom-minded entrepreneurship looks like for you, you're going to be able to step into that new faith, right? You're going to have to take some risk, calculated risks, but you want to take some risk. You want to serve others. You want to deliver it with excellence, and then you're going to want to give God the glory. That's how this whole thing works. So if John Harold reminded us about anything, when contracts fall through the doors, right, and the door actually literally slams shut in our face, it's not the end, right? The detour is not final. It's just that. It's a detour, right? A failure is not a person. It's an event. Yesterday really did end last night. It's the beginning of something sweeter when a door is slammed in your face, because that gives you an opportunity for something else. And so if you're bold enough to plant again, this is your opportunity. This is your time to shine, baby. And if you haven't had a chance to connect with us, go to funlifecoaching.com, go to johnnyjuan.com, and let's connect. Let's connect, guys. I'm tired of seeing people struggle through the same season over and over again and wondering, well, this just isn't meant for me. Baby, you're going to have to do something different than you've been doing to be able to get something that you've never had. So love you guys. Appreciate you. Hey, I know it's early, and the majority of those of you are going to watch this on the replay. So thank you. Appreciate you guys. Thank you for being on here. Chema, Bubba, Amy, good morning, guys. I got Teague 777. I got SSS, Coco Fine 39, Peppa Pig joined us, guys. Hey, Sarah, good morning. Buenos dias. Evangeline, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. Hey, guys, thanks for hanging out with me this morning. If you haven't had the opportunity, go subscribe. Come join the Cool Kids Club here in the Childlike Faith Podcast, because this really is the Childlike Faith Podcast for that Christian entrepreneur who wants to grow and scale their business to be able to achieve the financial freedom you're looking for without having to sacrifice your time, your family, your faith, and especially your joy, right? There's something about having that joy deep down inside that's going to allow you to be able to find that vision in the valley, to be able to turn lemons into lemonade, guys. Appreciate you, love you. Hey, listen, I got another one of these checks. I got another one of these checks from going out and doing some presentation. If you're a business owner and you want me to come out and speak to your sales staff, speak to your leadership, hey, let's connect. JohnnyJuan.com, or call me directly. Shoot me a text, 903-570-0052, and just hashtag the word leadership. I've got a great program I want to come and share with you guys to be able to help your leaders be more, do more, and have more. That's going to raise the bar for everybody, guys. Appreciate you, love you. Hey, adios. Thank you for hanging out with me this morning, Saturday morning. Let's go do something epic today. All right, boys and girls, adios.